Time. Time controls and subdues all embodied beings. Anyone can easily see that material bodies undergo 6 changes: birth, growth, maintenance, reproduction, decay, and death. Whether we like it or not, every rising and setting of the sun brings us closer to inevitable death. The rise and fall of civilizations follow the same pattern, and their Taj Mahals, pyramids stand as pathetic reminders that time and tide wait for no man. According to Vedic version, Brahma, the four-headed cosmic engineer of this universe, lives in a body that is subtle, because it is made primarily of intelligence, and he lives for the duration of this universe, the equivalent of 311 trillion of our years, which seem to him only 100 of his years. From our viewpoint, 311 trillion years is an eternity. But from the point of view of Vishnu, the original cause of the material creation, that's the time it takes him to exhale one breath. When Vishnu exhales, all the universes come out of the pores of his skin in seed-like forms. Then they develop, and when he inhales, all the universes merge within him. The purpose of the cosmic creation is to accommodate those souls wishing to assume Krishna's position as the supreme enjoyer and proprietor. Since the constitutional position of everyone is subordination to God, it is impossible to compete with him. So Krishna makes the impossible a possibility by creating a temporary illusion called the material world, where we may forget him and enjoy being illusory controllers for some time. Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, the Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita. Under the influence of eternal time, the cosmic manifestation is created, maintained, and annihilated at regular intervals. Time passes differently according to one's situation in the cosmos. Brahma lives for 100 years, but for us, his 100 years seem like trillions. His 12 hours consist of 1000 cycles of 4 ages: Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar and Kali Yuga. A single cycle of Kali, the shortest Yuga, corresponds to 43 lakh solar years. The 4 ages are fully under the corrupting influence of time. Whereas Satyug is marked by virtue, wisdom, and religion, these qualities deteriorate with the passing of time, and when Kali Yuga rolls around, we experience mostly strife, vice, ignorance, and irreligion, true virtue being practically non-existent. To correct the imbalance created by the degrading influence of time, the Lord advents himself millennium after millennium. He first spoke Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan, the sun god, millions of years ago. I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. This is confirmed in the Mahabharata. In the beginning of the millennium, known as Treta Yuga, this science of the relationship with the Supreme was delivered by Vivaswan to Manu. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaj Ikshvaku, the king of this earth planet, and forefather of the Raghu dynasty, in which Lord Ramachandra appeared. Bhagavad Gita has therefore existed in human society from the time of Maharaj Ikshvaku. Speaking to Arjun, Lord Krishna further said, this supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. The Lord then explained that same science again to Arjun 5000 years ago, and it has been brought to us through an unbroken chain of self-realized spiritual masters by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. When Krishna said he had spoken millions of years ago to Vivaswan, Arjun raised a doubt. How could Krishna have done this? Lord Krishna replied, Many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. Krishna remembered acts he had performed millions of years before, but Arjun could not remember anything, despite the fact that both Krishna and Arjun are eternal. This is so because whenever the Lord appears, he appears in his original transcendental form, which never deteriorates. Any ordinary person, however, transmigrates from one body to another, and from one life to the next, one forgets his former identity. But Krishna, the very principle of subduing time, is never under the control of time, and thus he remembers everything at all times. O Arjun, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. The Srimad Bhagavatam compares time to the deadly sharp blade of a razor, because time imperceptibility devours the duration of life of everyone. One must carefully use one's life properly. Since time represents Krishna, using time to search for the absolute truth is the best practical use of time. The Narad Pancharatra advises, by concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who is all pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in thinking of Krishna and then attains the happy state of transcendental association with him. Thank you very much. For more videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hare Krishna.